Have you ever wondered why some people fade from memory while others remain unforgettable for a lifetime? Think about it. We meet countless faces, hear countless voices, and share countless moments, but only a few leave a mark that never disappears. For women, it is not the man who spoke the loudest or tried the hardest to impress who lingers in her heart. It is the man who did something different, something deeper, something that touched her soul in a way she cannot erase, no matter how much time passes. This is the secret most men never realize. Lasting impressions are not built by chance. They are built by actions that awaken powerful emotions. Every human memory is shaped by feelings, and emotions become the glue that keeps certain people locked inside our minds. A woman may forget the words you spoke, she may forget the gifts you gave, but she will never forget the way you made her feel. That truth is not just poetry, it is psychology. Our brains hold on to moments that carry weight, that stir the heart, that remind us of something rare and real. The men who stand out are not perfect, they are not flawless, but they create moments that shift how a woman experiences life. And once she feels that, forgetting becomes impossible. The question is, what makes a man unforgettable? It is not about wealth, status, or charm. Those things fade. What remains are the moments where authenticity shines through. When a man carries himself with quiet strength, when he respects without seeking reward, when he listens with undivided attention, when he chooses truth over convenience, these are the acts that brand his presence into memory. They are not loud, they are not flashy, yet they echo longer than anything else. This is why many men struggle. They chase attention rather than connection. They seek validation rather than leaving impact. They believe love is about constant pursuit, when in reality it is about living in a way that builds respect, admiration, and deep emotional resonance. Women do not hold on to every man, but they will hold on forever to the man who shows up in ways that touch her core. And here lies the reward for those who understand. When you know how to leave this kind of mark, you no longer worry about being forgotten. You no longer fear being replaced. You rise above the noise because you know that true connection is not about temporary attraction. It is about creating something she will carry with her always. By the end of this journey, you will see the exact qualities that make a man unforgettable in the eyes of a woman. Stay with this message because each truth revealed here is a key to becoming the kind of man no woman ever forgets. Respect is the foundation of every unforgettable connection. When a woman feels genuinely respected, something profound happens inside her. She begins to associate your presence with safety, dignity, and worth. Respect is not about big speeches or hollow compliments. It is about the way you treat her when no one is watching, the way you honor her boundaries, and the way you acknowledge her value without conditions. A man who lives with respect in his actions and words creates a memory that burns deeply into her heart because respect is the rarest gift in a world full of ego and noise. Think for a moment about how powerful it feels when someone truly sees you, not as a possession, not as an object of desire, but as a whole human being with dreams, fears, and a voice that matters. That is what respect does. It lifts a person higher. It gives them permission to be their full self without fear of judgment. For a woman, meeting a man who carries this kind of energy is unforgettable because it speaks to the deepest need of the human spirit, to be valued for who we are. Disrespect is common, but genuine respect is rare. Many men chase approval by showcasing strength, confidence, or charm, but they forget that none of these things matter if they cannot show basic honor for another soul. Respect is not weakness, it is strength under control. It is the ability to recognize that lifting another person does not lower you, but in fact raises you both higher. When a woman encounters this, she never forgets it because it touches a part of her heart that longs for safety and acceptance. Psychology teaches us that validation creates emotional bonds. When you listen without interrupting, when you acknowledge her ideas instead of dismissing them, when you celebrate her individuality rather than trying to control it, you are building something that no amount of attraction alone can sustain. You are building trust. Trust cements memory, and memory cements connection. A woman may forget grand gestures, but she will remember the small ways you made her feel respected. And here lies the truth. Every man has the choice. You can demand attention through force, or you can earn admiration through respect. One fades quickly, the other lasts forever. Respect transforms how she experiences you. It makes her feel that being with you is not a battle, but a sanctuary. And when someone feels safe, valued, and honored, they do not forget the person who gave them that gift. If you desire to be unforgettable, begin with respect. Sometimes not when it benefits you, but always. Make it part of who you are. Because respect is not just something you give, it is something that defines you, and when it defines you, it leaves a mark that no woman can ever erase. Presence is one of the most powerful gifts a man can offer, and it is also one of the rarest. In a world overflowing with distractions, where eyes are glued to screens and minds are scattered in 1,000 directions, true presence stands out like light in the dark. When you are fully present with someone, when your attention is undivided and your focus is complete, you create a moment that is etched forever in memory. A woman never forgets the man who makes her feel that she is not competing with the noise of the world, because presence tells her she matters more than anything else. Presence is not about being in the same room, it is about being in the same moment. It is about listening with both your ears and your heart. It is about silence that feels safe, about words that come after understanding, about eye contact that communicates you are here, fully here, without drifting somewhere else. This kind of presence is unforgettable because it makes her feel seen in a way most people never do. Human beings crave to be understood, and when a man gives this without judgment, he becomes impossible to erase from memory. Consider how powerful it feels when someone listens without planning their reply, when they hear the emotions behind your words, when they notice the things you don't even say. That depth of presence is rare, and it changes everything. It sends a signal that you value not just what she says, but who she is beneath the surface. Presence communicates love without needing to use the word. It creates safety, it builds trust, and it makes every shared moment sacred. A woman will never forget how it feels to be held in that kind of attention. Distraction is easy, but focus is strength. Anyone can nod while their mind wanders, but the man who sets aside his phone, quiets his thoughts, and truly listens is unforgettable. Presence is a silent form of respect, a living proof that her existence is worth your full awareness. And when a woman experiences this, her heart connects deeply because she feels valued in her essence, not just acknowledged in passing. This is the kind of mark that cannot fade. A conversation where she felt understood. A moment where she knew she had your full heart. A space where her emotions were not dismissed but welcomed. Those experiences carve themselves into her memory because they are rare treasures in a world that constantly rushes past without paying attention. If you want to be remembered, practice presence. Let every interaction carry the weight of full attention. Make her feel that when you are there, you are truly there, because in the end, people forget what you said, they forget what you did, but they will never forget how present you made them feel. Would you like me to continue directly into the next section on vulnerability with the same style and depth? Vulnerability is not weakness, it is pure courage. To open your heart, to show the truth of who you are, to allow another person to see the parts you usually hide, that is strength on a level most never reach. Women never forget the man who is brave enough to be authentic, because in a world where masks are worn so easily, authenticity feels like a breath of fresh air. When you let down your guard and allow her to witness not just your triumphs, but also your struggles, you create a connection that goes far beyond appearances. For too long, men have been taught that emotions make them fragile, that hiding pain and pretending to be unshakable defines strength. But real strength is the opposite. It is the willingness to admit you are human. It is the ability to say, I feel this without shame. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite trust. You tell her that she can be vulnerable too, that her flaws and fears are safe in your presence. That exchange is unforgettable because it is rare, and the human heart never forgets the person who gave it freedom to be real. Vulnerability is magnetic. It pulls people closer because it shows there is no mask, no game, no hidden agenda. A woman sees a man who can express joy without fear, sadness without shame, or dreams without doubt. She sees a man who is alive in his full humanity. That image cannot be erased because it speaks directly to the core of what we all seek, genuine connection. Affection is forgettable, but vulnerability is unforgettable because it is real, and reality always leaves its mark. Hiding emotions builds walls, but sharing them builds bridges. When you open up, you create intimacy that words alone can never achieve. She will not remember the details of every conversation, but she will remember the night you admitted your fears, the moment you shared your hopes, the time you showed your heart. Those memories lock themselves into her soul because they are tied to the deepest truths of being human. This is why vulnerability is not about weakness. It is about strength under pressure. It is about saying, I am not afraid to let you see me fully. A man who lives this way is rare, and rarity makes him unforgettable. When you are open, you show that trust matters more to you than image, that truth matters more than pride, that connection matters more than defense. And once she has experienced that depth, she cannot forget it. To be remembered, dare to be vulnerable. Do not hide behind walls built of fear. Let yourself be seen, not just in the light of success, but also in the shadow of struggle. Because the man who shows his heart without fear is the man who lives forever in hers. Support is one of the greatest tests of character. Anyone can stand beside someone when times are easy, but it is in the moments of difficulty, struggle, and uncertainty that true loyalty reveals itself. A woman never forgets the man who remains steady when storms rise, who offers strength when the weight feels unbearable, who chooses to show up not just once, but again and again with unwavering consistency. Support is more than a gesture. It is a promise, and when that promise is kept, it carves itself into memory forever. Consistency matters because the human heart craves reliability. Words are empty without action, and love is fragile without stability. When you are consistent in your support, you show that your presence is not conditional, that it is not dependent on circumstances, and that it does not vanish the moment things become difficult. This kind of devotion builds trust so strong it cannot be shaken. A woman never forgets the man who gives her that foundation, because he becomes more than a companion. He becomes a source of strength in her life. True support is not about solving every problem or carrying every burden. It is about standing there as a constant anchor, a reminder that she does not face life alone. Even the smallest gestures, a reassuring word, a patient ear, a steady hand, hold power when given with consistency. Human beings are wired to remember who was there when they were at their lowest, because those moments shape the deepest bonds. The man who remains present in those times earns a place in her heart that time cannot erase. Many men are strong in the beginning, but few remain strong over the long run. Consistency is rare, and that is why it leaves such a lasting impression. To be there once may be comforting, but to be there always is unforgettable. When she sees that you are not only present in joy, but also in pain, not only in sunshine, but also in storms, she learns that your loyalty is real. That realization becomes a memory she carries always, because the heart never forgets those who stood by it when it was most vulnerable. Support is also about energy. It is the patience to listen when she needs to speak, the encouragement to remind her of her worth, the calm presence that eases her doubts. It is not about grand gestures or constant rescue. It is about showing up with steady reliability that she can trust. When you live this way, you create emotional security, and security is unforgettable because it gives her the freedom to be herself without fear of abandonment. To be remembered, become consistent in your support. Not just once, not just sometimes, but always. Make your actions match your words and let your loyalty shine through time. Because the man who stands steady when others walk away is the man no woman can ever forget. Protection is one of the deepest needs of the human heart, but true protection is often misunderstood. A woman never forgets the man who makes her feel safe without trying to own her, who protects her dignity without limiting her freedom, who guards her well-being without demanding control. There is a difference between caring for someone and trying to cage them. One creates love, the other creates resentment. The man who understands this truth becomes unforgettable because safety without control is rare, and rarity leaves a permanent mark. Protection is not about constant interference or dominance. It is not about making decisions for her or treating her as fragile. It is about standing as a shield when life grows harsh, while still respecting her strength and independence. A woman remembers the man who lets her fly but promises to catch her if she falls, the man who trusts her abilities yet reassures her that she never has to face battles alone. That balance between freedom and safety creates an emotional sanctuary she can never forget. At its core, protection is love expressed through presence and care. It is the strength to step in when harm threatens, but also the wisdom to step back when she needs space to grow. It is knowing when to defend and when to support, when to guide and when to trust. This kind of protection sends a powerful message. Your well-being matters, your happiness matters, your dreams matter. And once a woman feels that kind of devotion, she holds it in her memory forever. Many confuse control with care, but control suffocates while protection empowers. Control says, I don't trust you, while protection says, I believe in you and I want you safe. The difference is everything. The man who seeks control may gain compliance for a moment, but he will not be remembered with love. The man who offers protection while honoring freedom, however, will never be forgotten because he creates trust that feels unbreakable. Psychology shows that security is one of the strongest emotional anchors. When someone makes you feel secure, your heart attaches in ways it never does with uncertainty. A woman never forgets the man who became her safe place, the one whose presence alone brought calm to her storms. That kind of memory is not temporary, it is lasting, because security becomes part of how she defines him. To be unforgettable, offer protection that empowers rather than limits. Be strong enough to defend without needing to dominate, gentle enough to care without needing to control. Let your actions prove that her safety, her dreams, and her peace matter to you. Because the man who gives freedom while providing safety becomes more than a memory. He becomes a lasting part of her heart that time cannot erase. Integrity is the foundation that separates the unforgettable from the forgettable. A woman may admire many qualities in a man, but what truly makes him stay in her heart is when his words and actions align without contradiction. Integrity is not about perfection, it is about truth. It is the courage to live by values even when no one is watching, to keep promises even when it is inconvenient, to speak with honesty even when it costs something. This is the quality that leaves an imprint on the soul, because trust built on integrity cannot be erased. When a man lives with integrity, he communicates reliability without saying a word. Every choice he makes becomes a reflection of his character. Every decision, no matter how small, either strengthens or weakens trust. A woman never forgets the man whose behavior matches his words, the man who does not hide behind excuses or break commitments lightly. She remembers him because he stands out in a world where too many people compromise their values for comfort or gain. Integrity is rare, and rarity is unforgettable. Betrayal, dishonesty, and inconsistency create wounds that eventually fade into distance, but integrity does the opposite. It builds a bond that grows stronger with time. It says, you can trust me. You can rely on me. You can rest in the knowledge that I will not deceive you. That level of certainty is powerful. It becomes an anchor in her mind because safety is not just physical, it is emotional. Integrity is emotional safety, and emotional safety is never forgotten. Integrity also inspires respect. It shows that a man has a backbone, that he stands for something greater than temporary desires. When he refuses to lie, when he keeps his promises even when it is hard, when he chooses honesty over ease, he proves his strength in ways far deeper than appearances. A woman will remember that because it sets him apart from those who bend with every passing wind. She sees in him a steadiness that is not only admirable but unforgettable. To live with integrity is to understand that character is the true measure of a person. Looks fade, charm fades, but integrity remains as a lasting legacy. It creates a reputation that lingers in the hearts of others, long after words have been forgotten. A woman will carry the memory of the man who treated her with truth, who valued honesty above pride, who showed loyalty not only when convenient but always. If you wish to be unforgettable, let integrity define you. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Let your actions prove the weight of your promises. Because when you live by truth, you leave a mark that cannot be replaced. The man of integrity is not just remembered, he is honored in memory, carried forward with respect, and never forgotten. Every struggle you face is not a sign of weakness but a reminder of the strength that still lies dormant within you. When you feel the weight of doubt pressing against your chest, remember that this is the exact moment where transformation begins. True growth is never born in moments of ease. It is carved out of discomfort, sharpened by resistance, and fueled by the fire of perseverance. The emotions that overwhelm you are not meant to break you, they are meant to awaken you. Each time you rise against fear, you train your spirit to stand taller, to walk prouder, to believe deeper in what you're capable of. Your future is not determined by the opinions of others, nor by the failures that haunt your past. It is determined by the strength of your will to keep moving, even when your legs tremble and your heart feels heavy. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Consistency will give you victories that temporary excitement never could. Every single day you decide to show up for yourself, you plant seeds that will one day bloom into greatness. They may grow slowly, but they will grow surely because persistence never betrays the one who refuses to quit. There will be moments when loneliness surrounds you, when the silence feels unbearable, and when it seems like no one sees the effort you pour into your journey. Yet it is in these very moments that you are being prepared for the life you asked for. You cannot demand strength without being tested. You cannot demand greatness without being challenged. The universe does not hand out rewards to those who merely wish. It gives them to those who earn them through grit, sacrifice, and unwavering focus. Every time you fall, you are not being pushed away from success. You are being redirected toward it. Failures are not walls, they are mirrors, reflecting back to you the lessons you must learn to step forward with wisdom and clarity. Stop fearing them, stop running from them. Let them shape you, refine you, and strengthen you, because they are proof that you are daring to move, daring to try, daring to live. Those who never fail are the ones who never had the courage to step out of their comfort zones. You carry within you the power to rebuild, to redirect, and to rise higher than the world expects of you. Do not shrink yourself to fit into the expectations of others. Do not water down your dreams to make others comfortable. You were not created to be average. You were not created to blend in. You were created to shine, to rise, to lead, and to conquer the very mountains that once terrified you. Step forward with unshakable belief, because your future is waiting, and it belongs to the version of you who refuses to give up. Do you want me to keep building these sections like a continuous motivational speech until you have a full-length script, e.g. 20 to 30 minutes? Greatness does not come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who create it. The clock is always ticking, and every second you spend doubting yourself is a second lost forever. Fear will always whisper reasons to delay, but fear is a liar. The longer you hesitate, the louder it becomes, until it convinces you that you were never capable in the first place. Break that cycle now. Take the step while your heart races, act while your hands shake, and trust that courage grows in motion, not in waiting. The power you seek is already within you, but it reveals itself only when you dare to move forward without guarantees. The world does not reward hesitation, it rewards decisiveness. Opportunities do not linger forever, they pass by those who are too afraid to seize them. Every time you silence doubt and act, you strengthen your inner warrior. Every time you push forward when everything in you wants to quit, you build unshakable resilience. That is how champions are made, one choice at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one act of courage stacked on top of another until they rise into something unstoppable. You cannot reach that version of yourself by clinging to comfort. You can only reach it by demanding more of yourself than anyone else ever will. Pain will visit you, and setbacks will knock you down, but neither has the power to define you. What defines you is how you rise. What defines you is how you turn that pain into fuel, how you refuse to allow the scars of your past to chain your future. Strength is not found in avoiding the storm, it is found in learning how to walk through it with your head held high. The moments you thought would break you are the same moments shaping the unshakable force you are becoming. Let them forge you. Let them sharpen you. Let them prepare you for the victory that is waiting just beyond the season of struggle. Your vision must become stronger than your excuses. Your hunger must be greater than your comfort. The dream you carry cannot survive on half-hearted effort. It demands your full commitment, your full dedication, your full fire. Every single day, remind yourself why you started, remind yourself who you are becoming, and refuse to let distraction pull you away from your purpose. Consistency may feel ordinary, but over time it produces results so extraordinary that others will call them impossible. They will not understand the hours you sacrificed, the battles you fought in silence, the discipline you embraced when no one was watching. But you will know, and that knowledge will carry you further than applause ever could. This is your moment to rise, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The fire within you was not placed there by accident. It is the signal that you were built for more. Step forward with conviction, unleash your potential, and never again let fear dictate the life you are meant to live. Every excuse you hold onto is a chain around your potential. The longer you entertain reasons to delay, the tighter those chains wrap around you until you begin to confuse them with your identity. You were not created to live small, to settle for mediocrity, or to carry excuses as though they define you. You were created to break limits, to shatter walls, and to step into the fullness of your strength. Every day you allow excuses to lead you, you betray the greatness within you. Let them go. Replace every I can't with I will, every hesitation with decisive action, every doubt with a relentless belief that you are capable of more. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It liberates you from regret, from wasted time, from the pain of knowing you could have done more but didn't. When you commit to discipline, you unlock the ability to command your mind instead of being ruled by its impulses. You begin to live with intention, no longer swayed by fleeting feelings, but guided by a purpose that does not waver. That is how you build power that lasts. Every repetition, every effort, every sacrifice becomes a brick in the foundation of an unbreakable life. And though the process is demanding, nothing is more painful than living with the weight of unrealized potential. Greatness is not something you stumble into. It is something you forge through relentless effort. The difference between those who rise and those who fade is not luck, it is consistency. Those who rise keep moving when motivation dies. They keep working when progress is invisible. They keep believing when the world calls them foolish. They understand that the journey will test them, strip them, and push them to their breaking point, but they refuse to stop. They know that on the other side of struggle lies a version of themselves that fear cannot touch and doubt cannot hold. That is what they chase, and that is why they win. The life you want will not be handed to you, it must be demanded. You must demand more of yourself than comfort allows, more than excuses permit, more than fear thinks you can handle. Your vision must burn so intensely within you that surrender becomes impossible. When your commitment is absolute, obstacles lose their power. They may slow you, they may challenge you, but they cannot defeat you. Every setback then becomes fuel. Every failure becomes instruction. Every disappointment becomes preparation for the moment when your persistence pays off. You are not here to live half awake. You are not here to exist in the shadow of your fears. You are here to rise, to claim the life waiting on the other side of discipline, courage, and sacrifice. The world does not need another person who played it safe. It needs someone willing to step into their power fully. That someone is you, and your time is now. The mind is a battlefield, and every day you either win or lose depending on which voice you choose to obey. One voice tells you to rest, to delay, to shrink, to play safe. The other voice calls you to rise, to stretch, to fight, to push beyond what feels comfortable. The quality of your life will always be shaped by which voice you empower. If you feed weakness with attention, weakness grows. If you feed strength with discipline, strength dominates. A truth is simple but powerful. You become what you repeatedly choose. Every thought you accept, every action you repeat is shaping your destiny. That is why you cannot afford to give excuses space. They are thieves that steal your future before you even realize it. The most dangerous prison is not built with bars, but with beliefs. The moment you tell yourself you are not enough, you place yourself in a cage that you alone have the key to unlock. No one else can rescue you from the lies you choose to believe. You must rise with the courage to rewrite your story, to replace limitation with possibility, to silence the voice that says stop and replace it with the voice that says go further. The person you want to become is already within you, waiting for you to cut the chains of fear and hesitation. Every act of courage chips away at the walls holding you back. Success is not a mystery reserved for the lucky. It is a formula that rewards persistence. The world remembers those who showed up day after day when no one was watching, who invested in their growth when others wasted time, who chose resilience over surrender. You have that same ability. The question is not whether you can, the question is whether you will. Will you show up when it is hard? Will you rise when you fall? Will you continue when your body and mind scream to stop? If your answer is yes, then there is nothing in this world that can hold you down. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is a teacher, a guide, a sculptor shaping you into someone stronger than yesterday. Every struggle you endure has the power to prepare you for what is coming. Do not run from discomfort, embrace it, because discomfort is where growth lives. The edge of your comfort zone is the doorway to transformation, and if you never cross it, you never discover the life waiting on the other side. The strength you admire in others was built through battles you do not see, through tears and sweat and relentless perseverance. That same strength can belong to you if you choose to earn it.